everybody, welcome to Impossible Coin. In West Texas, we have Rocky Hardy, our preeminent expert on deliciously prepared meals and fall network television. In Ohio, our preeminent expert on questionably prepared meals and burgeoning fraud fighter, Tegan Somerset.
Trust me with your identity.
I am your host, Brian Cartwright. This is a podcast ostensibly about video games. Rocky, please tell us about television.
Okay. Yeah, for sure, man. I love television. And I love fall TV. It's one of my favorite things. Brian, I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't have a lot of heroes, all right? There aren't a lot of people that I look up to and respect, but there are a couple. One that we might share, like Barack Obama, and one that we may not share, which is Sterling K. Brown. I feel like Sterling K. Brown is a really good dude. I pay close attention to his life and the things that he does with it. And one of the things that he's doing is he's on a TV show on NBC called This Is Us. And Sterling K. Brown is a really good dude on the show. He's just trying to be a really good dad. And he has a beautiful wife, Beth. And Beth is an interesting, mysterious, wise woman. And her mother is played by Felicia Rashad. And they had an episode where Felicia Rashad gets to come on. And they're doing a couple things where, like, she's in the present day. And they're also doing the flashback. And they're doing a flashback where they're in college. And, like, it's parents' weekend. And Beth is, like, sitting, like, 2 tables away from him. And he's, like, his mom is definitely telling her about her life and, like, the things that are going on with their family after their house burned down and yada yada. But he can't focus on any of that because Beth is sitting 2 tables away, and that's his future wife. That's just how it's going to go. And his mom eventually, like, realizes that he's staring at her, and, like, she's sitting with her mother, and so she tells Randall that they're going to go over and sit with them. And recently, Randall, like, got blown off after this date, and he doesn't want to embarrass himself in front of Beth or her mother, as, like, a reasonable semi-teenage boy would want to do. But Felicia Rashad looks him in the eye and says, "Please sit down," you know? And, like, I don't know about you, Brian, but if I'm a teenage boy and Felicia Rashad told me to please sit down, I think I'm sitting down. I don't think there's anything I can do about that.
Fair.
I like what they're doing with Felicia Rashad in this show because, like, she still gets to be a mother, you know, like in the Cosby Show. But a lot of her interactions aren't like, you know, doting mother Felicia Rashad where she's taking care of the kids. Mm-hmm. But it's like that episode where one of her daughter's boyfriends shows up and she gets to roast him because, like, he's whiling on some nonsense. Mm-hmm. You get a lot of, like, Felicia Rashad being not, like, assertive but, like, firm, I think is really cool. And everyone's, like, low-key afraid of her, but it's not because she's, like, a monster, she's a hag or anything. It's just she's tough and no one's prepared for it. And, like, the show itself is about, like, incredibly good people. And, like, it's incredibly good people with, like, Felicia Rashad as, like, a mom. And I'm having a great time with it. It's important that Felicia Rashad is in this episode. She gives, like, a small bit of approval after, like, not liking Sterling K. Brown, even though he's, like, a impossibly good dude, TM. And it's important for Sterling K. Brown's character to understand this because his daughter's about to date a teenage father. Like, he's, like, a junior in high school. He has a 6-month-old daughter.
The hell?
There's this really great line that Beth gets to say where it's like, she's 14. I don't want my daughter to date a boy who puts babies in people. I mean, the show doesn't really, like, make a decision about that. It will in the coming episodes, I guess. But they use Felicia Rashad to, like, advance the story, which is almost certainly a bad idea. But we'll see how that goes.
I do not watch This Is Us.
Sure.
Network television in general feels, on balance, bad enough these days that I am generally very suspicious whenever a show is as highly praised as This Is Us.
Sure.
You know the meme of Fry from Futurama with the narrowed eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that me. Other than knowing Sterling K. Brown and that guy from Heroes are on This Is Us, that's about all I know about This Is Us. I think maybe that guy from Heroes has a mustache. I don't know.
He has a mustache now, yes.
Okay.
As long as it's like in the late 70s, early 80s, he has a mustache. Present day, he's just dead. So, whatever.
I bet he looks fucking stupid with that mustache. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I'm going to let that breathe. But I'm looking at a picture of Beth right now.
Uh-huh.
And there is a very, very powerful needs to speak to the manager energy about this woman.
I mean, I definitely get that. But, like, I'm not going to fuck with Beth, man. In fact, Beth, like, please come home. Your children miss you. But whatever,
I'm just saying that she is very, very upset that there are 2 pumps of soy.
Yeah, that's a lot of her energy. But she uses it for good, I promise.
Look, okay, Rocky, what you just described, I'm gonna recontextualize it for you.
Sure, go ahead.
You know what? We frack for good. There are types of energy which cannot be used for good.
Okay.
Yeah, these include fracking and speaking to the manager.
I don't know, Brian. I think you're lacking in imagination on this one.
Tell me about the good fracking.
I don't know about fracking, but I think I could speak to the manager for good.
Okay.
I have that faith in myself.
So, Tegan, are we using speaking to the manager literally or in the figurative sense, which has become a popularly understood, like, conceit? Because, like, let's say for just an example, you find in your salad at the Pizza Hut, like, a whole fucking thumb.
Oh, disgusting.
Okay.
Terrifying.
I hope someone at that Pizza Hut did not end up in my salad. I mean, obviously some part of them did, but like...
So, like, I'm going to say that you have a legitimate concern, if for no other reason, to be like, you know what, Mr. Pizza Hut, you probably have a very, very ill person in your kitchen, somebody who did not even understand that they have no thumb, so you might want to look into that.
Bold of you to assume that that person's still alive.
I'm bothered.
Right. Okay. So we understand that in the literal sense, one can speak to the manager and not necessarily speak to the manager. Like, speaking to the manager isn't speaking to the manager.
Right, yeah.
So I want to know when speaking to the manager can be used for good.
The only way I could, like, sassily speak to the manager, I believe, would be if I actually, like, knew the manager and I just wanted to sass them for fun.
That may not be using it for good.
Okay, and to be fair, that just sounds like...
That sounds like a good time for me.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds inches away from a sex thing. I'm not going to even joke here. Oh.
I know what you mean. It's cool.
Like, come on, Big Mama, bury me in returns without receipts.
Oh, God, please don't. Oh, God, please don't. Please don't be that person. Oh, God. I'm astral projecting.
Yep. So I'm just saying that, like, I have a hard time believing, Rocky, that one can convey this power, convey this energy, and do so from a good place. But continue. I think that actually you want to talk about a good place.
So some stuff happened this week. Brian made some good calls. If Brian's, like, right about both Janet and Michael, then we have some more twists and turns left. If Brian was only right about Janet, then, the show may become flatter, but I don't think the show's going to come flat. So that's where we're at. Janet was revealed to be a replacement from The Bad Place. The question of Michael is still in the air, but they basically did a bottle episode where the person returning from the Bad Place wasn't actually Michael. It was another Bad Place goon. The one that is constantly, oh God. Brian, what's the word where, like, you're insulted in, like, a place where you try to, like, just exist? It's not reprimanded. Like, where, like, they pretend to be your friends, but they're really just, like, roasting you?
Oh.
Like, belittled? There's a better word for that.
I know what you mean.
Go on.
Anyhow, this guy, Glenn, who is not the most popular guy in The Bad Place, decided to warn Eleanor and whatnot about the fake Michael in the Michael suit, who's presumably just Vicky in the Michael suit. And, they separate them. They try to interrogate them. And they want to believe Michael, but they don't know how to prove that this Michael's the fake Michael because they don't have a secret phrase. But luckily, Jason managed to have a phrase that he could try to coax out of Janet to prove whether or not she's the real Janet, which is when he calls Janet girl, Janet usually replies, not a girl. But this Janet didn't do that. And so using, the sex toy handcuffs that Mindy Sinclair uses with Derek was able to reveal that the bad Janet wasn't our good Janet. Later on, Jason and the possibly fake Michael are going to the bad place to go get the real Janet and probably the real Michael. But who knows? It's probably Jason just going to get locked up and then everyone has to go to the bad place. That'd be a good, series finale thing for us to do.
I'm not entirely sure at this point that Michael is a fake Michael.
Sure.
The thing that The Good Place has always been primarily interested in exploring is human motivation, philosophy, and relationships. This story gave Michael an opportunity to have such fantastic lines as, I only lied to cover up my other two lies. Which That's is rude. A beautiful, incredibly human thing. It's it's one of those things where people have certainly thought that, but nobody wants to give a voice to that being their motivation. And just I only lied to cover up my other two lies. And you're like, yep, that is a thing a person would say. And so it's a very humanizing moment for Michael, almost more than him offering to gooify himself. And we realize that he includes things like shame and wounded pride and not wanting to disappoint his people. And that the motivation for telling Eleanor, I pretended to have a breakdown in order to make you a better leader, is also driven by not wanting to appear, incompetent in the face of the experiment that they're doing now. And I am convinced, though, however, that because we've separated the party as we have, that Jason is going to get to see Michael's true form.
Yeah, I think that's something that they're building toward. But also, we saw Michael have an actual breakdown before the experiment started because of the Michael suit.
But that is the breakdown that Eleanor saw. Because he saw the Michael suit. That triggered the breakdown. Eleanor walked in the room. So that is the breakdown. He then just lied about what caused the breakdown.
But he lied about it when he was coming clean about it, presumably. That was the sixth lie. I don't know. I'm actually pretty convinced that this Michael's probably not the real Michael anymore. But I am pretty convinced that Michael is actually a fire squid, but that Vicky just already knows that about him.
I think that part of the narrative reason to separate the group this way is so that way and Tahani are brought together romantically.
Wait, I missed the first word before Tahani. Yeah. Was it Eleanor? Did you say Eleanor and Tahani?
Yes.
That's kind of dope. I'm with it.
They've hinted in the last two seasons more than once at a romantic and physical attraction between the two. Mm-hmm. And since one of the things that they've dug into on the show has been this idea of how do we deal with our emotions? How do we deal with our baggage? And what do we owe to each other? What will Eleanor think about? Does she feel like she owes anything to Chidi right now? Because did Chidi and I break up? Even though Chidi doesn't know who I am I still dating Chidi? Eleanor and Chidi and Schrodinger's relationship is a thing which she's going to struggle with. And obviously this show is not going to run out the clock with Chidi never getting his memory back. His memory is probably coming back at some point relatively soon.
That's I don't want to underestimate the powers of the cosmos, especially as enumerated in this show. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure that when they erase memories, they're ultimately recoverable. That's not something that they've ever implied with this show. Even when Michael was doing his hundreds of resets or whatever,
right.
Chidi and Eleanor kept ending up together, mm-hmm. but the assumption was that they were doing so organically, that they kept ending up together, not because they remembered things from the past, but because they were, quote unquote soulmates or whatever.
I think that Chidi remembering everything makes all of the trials and the decisions and the choices that Eleanor has to face more difficult and more challenging. And I think there's something to the idea of Eleanor and Chidi both knowing who each other are, both still loving each other, and at the precipice of this future where, like, you know, Chidi and Simone move forward in the afterlife, and Eleanor and Tahani move forward in the afterlife, but they also don't assume that that means that they'll never be together again, because we're the dot me I, baby, Jeremy bear me. Like, who knows? You know, we have forever to see if it ever happens again. But it's fine because we're all better people now. But this is all big picture stuff. This is all, like, final episode contemplation. At this point, like, I mean, this is the last season. I'm thinking about the long game. Like, what are the moments that Michael Schur wants in the final episode? That kind of thing.
It's definitely a moment that they can build to. I'm just saying that given the information that we have, we don't have tools to get there.
Yeah, I feel like it's also more apparent that, like, bringing Jason back to his monk getup is definitely, like, a deliberate visual and thematic choice, because in the course of the season thus far, there have been moments where, like, Jason has, like, very deliberately and very quickly just, like, thrown out these small, like, bite-sized pieces of wisdom, which seems pretty consistent with, like, a pop culture Western understanding of how monks work. Here's a monk. A monk will now say something, like, brief and smart, and then go back to, like, not really talking. And Mendoza seems to be kind of like a tweak to that pop culture conceit right now. You know, kind of like playing with it while at the same time calling it out. So, like, I will definitely still stay tuned for that. I still am looking forward to finding out if, like, Jason opening the jar of peanut butter ever pays off. And I also especially enjoyed the horror horse. The nightmare horror horse was good.
I think it was so sad. Like, it came to life and there was just, like, writhing. And it's like, oh no, why did we do any of this?
What else is going on, Rocky?
Yeah, Superstore's happening. This past episode opens with the demise of the local mall. A couple people, you know, lamented the fact that it was gone. You know, like, one of them got their ears pierced there and their child got their ear pierced there. One of them remembers, like, dicking around in the mall as a teenager. But, like, the old manager, who's now just a regular employee, and the assistant manager, they both get up and they, like, handshake each other, like, we did it. Like, I've been fighting that mall for 40 years. It undercut my father's hardware store. It almost put us under. And now we're the ones that survived. It took my youth. It took my body. Like, it was just this huge, incredible moment for them. So what they decide to do is that they're going to try to take, like, all the mall goers and try to get them to come to the Walmart. And they do a bunch of, like, mall things. Like, they start doing free samples. They add some massage chairs for people to just use. And it gets all the people in there. But the problem is that with mall goers, most of them, they don't always just buy things. Like, they just kind of hang out. And so now they just have a bunch of loiterers in the store. And they immediately want to kick them out, but Amy's, like, teenage daughter wants to hang out there, and it's, like, the first time they've had quality time. Well, quality time is a stretch anyways, but, like, time where they've seen each other in, like, months because of the divorce and other things. And there's a moment in there where, like, Amy is just astonished of how mean her teenage daughter can be, that she, like, recounts a moment in the past, like, week where she tells her, it's like, hey, you have a really beautiful smile. And her daughter, like, looks her in the eye and says, yeah, it skipped a generation.
Ooh. Ow.
And I was just like, Jesus Christ. And then, like, eventually, like, teens, like, take over the store. They start doing, like, the type of shit that you see in, like, Vines and TikToks, but, like, in a Walmart store, but it's their Walmart, so they have to clean it up. And meanwhile, there's a B story who Mateo, who's recently been released from ICE custody, thank God for that, but is now unable to work at the store because he doesn't have a social security number. Well, I mean, he didn't have one in the first place, but he lied about the first one, and, that should have been okay, but whatever. He can't get a job there, so he needs to find a job that pays in cash that isn't, cleaning out some dude's garage in his underwear, so, he's strapped for choices. The protagonist, well, that's not America Ferrera, is trying to give him money to help him, in this troubling time, but he doesn't want to take it because he's proud. So because the protagonist that you just recently revealed that he has a gambling problem, is that they're trying to make bets that he would that he would lose and that Mateo would win, so he could just give him the money. And they made a bet that Cher has never won a Grammy, even though she definitely did for her iconic song Believe. And Mateo's also gay, which is a bit of a stereotype, but he does definitely know that. But he's so frazzled about his current situation that he didn't believe in Cher, and so he bets against himself and ends up owing him money, and that goes on for a while until they start betting on a single coin flip. He just keeps picking heads, and it's a weird science fact that or I guess statistics fact that coins tend to land on heads 51% of the time instead of just a flat 50-50. But they managed to flip the coin, and they ends up getting heads 8 times in a row. And at $50 a bet, Mateo ends up making $400. And this way he's able to lend Mateo the money, but now he's just frustrated because he kept taking the double or nothing bet. And he doesn't know when to stop because he's a gambling problem. He has a gambling problem. Also, one thing that I'm realizing with these NBC shows is that they seem to be integrating their storylines, which I know they do from time to time. There was a small bit in This Is Us about a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
And they also talked about a childhood horse in Superstore. In This Is Us, there was also a bit about having them go to a mall. And it seemed like it was tied together, even though these shows happen on different days. I know it's something that they do from time to time. I'm not sure if it's a thing that works, but it feels rewarding in a way that I'm not exactly proud of. I don't know how to deal with these feelings.
It's like a weird multiverse.
Yeah, it's like NBC's building a multiverse about these shows. I mean, they're building a literal universe with the Chicago series, because now they have Chicago Fire, PD, and EMT, I think. And they're doing a crossover event between the 3 shows where there's some sort of pandemic brewing or whatnot. And the emergency responders are the first people to notice. And I'm not sure if these big TV events work, but I don't know. Whatever. Then I finished Letterkenny, and Letterkenny was sick.
I have no idea what that show is.
So Letterkenny is a story of a small Canadian rural town. It's about 5,000 people, called Letterkenny. And the people that live there. This season had a couple conceits. One, turns out that Wayne's proposal was successful, and he is engaged at the beginning of it to marry Fred. Or Marie Fred? Marie Fred. They also get sick of individually helping out people with their farming problems because it eats up too much of their time. So they started a public access show called Crack an Egg. But egg is spelled AG, Crack an Egg agricultural problem, I guess, which is, less snappy. So they're doing this agricultural show. Also, the hockey team that's normally around, the Letterkenny Irish, has disbanded because they sucked and they weren't making money. But they are banded together to take on the local native team, the Eagles. And those 3 stories were basically playing out over the 6 episodes. There's a character, I forget his first name, but he's just McMurray to me now. Is a couple of things. He's a pervert. He mumbles often when he speaks, and he always wants to try to one-up people. There is one episode where he actually runs in, ecstatic with the news that he actually has an average-sized penis, because he's been measuring it wrong his entire life, presumably, from the top instead of the bottom. And so he actually has a 5-inch penis instead of a 4.15-inch penis, which is a thing that I'm going to remember forever now. And so people start calling in to roast him about his small penis and also to fuck his wife. Tanis, who's the main character from the native part of the show, wants to run the in-game show for the Eagles, but they won't let her. So she basically gets the Letterkenny Irish back together for exhibition matches to prove that she could run the in-game show, because she wants these hockey players to be a role model to her cousins so they don't get into, like, meth and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Shorzy makes a recurrence where he's, talking shit or chirping, I guess. They have some candid conversations about, binge drinking. They were talking about how, if you say you're going to have a couple of beers, you can have a couple of beers and just stop. But if you feel like you're going to lean into it and, like, really just get hammered, you can just go ahead and say you're going to have 8 beers. And that's what you do. The last episode, they got smashed. So, like, hopefully the show has a future, because it's a fun thing to fuck around with. And, that's my fall TV corner, I guess.
Okay. What else you got going on, man?
Final Fantasy XIV's 5.1 update has been announced. And it's big because it's the Yorha event, and they announced that we're going to get a 4-man and a 24-man dungeon in the Nier universe, which is really important because dungeons usually come in 3 flavors: 4, 8-man, and 24-man.
Mm-hmm.
Rather us getting a 4-man dungeon instead of an 8-man dungeon is really important because you can run 4-man dungeons with the trust system, which is the system where, like, you can essentially play with, like, 3 CPU party members instead of, like, having to play with normal people. It continues, like, the idea that you can get through all of the story content by yourself because you can just level up the trust and run it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Shadowbringers, as a new expansion, added that with all the 4-man content. There is, like, 3 8-man fights that you would have to do with other people, but otherwise you could just play the game on your own. So it lent itself to being a bit more of a single-player experience, which is interesting thing to do in an MMO. They're also adding the Hades Extreme fight, which is pretty standard. But the raid tier that came out 2 expansions ago with Heaven's Ward is getting its ultimate level. And, the forums and, like, Reddit have been blown up because there are a couple of fights that were especially bullshit in that tier. But ultimates don't always take all the fights. They just take, like, 4 of the most iconic ones and just turn them up to 11. Or, honestly, like, 14. Like, ultimate fights are super unforgiving. But the gear that you get from it is super cool. And so I'm looking forward to fucking with that.
For somebody who's not a Final Fantasy XIV player.
Sure.
But is way deep hard on that Nier train. And I'm not talking about anybody here in particular.
You sure? Sure, you're not fucking calling me out on my bullshit. Are you sure?
Do you think that this Nier content is enough to lure in those people, or would that be a fool's errand for them?
Once again, Final Fantasy XIV is a really big game with a large swath of experiences. I will say that it will be nearly impossible for a person to jump in and just play the Nier stuff and leave. Because, like, the Nier content's going to be level 80 content, so you have to go through the story anyways. But if a person just wants to jump in and, like, play through Shadowbringers and then play through the Nier content, like, they can totally fucking do that, and it would be cool.
Tegan, are you going to cave and play Final Fantasy?
Maybe I am.
Tegan, did you watch the trailer for the 5.1 thing that I linked in the show doc?
Yeah, maybe I did. Okay? Maybe I'm being fucking attacked and I don't appreciate it.
Oh, man. Well, like, it's coming out October 29th, and, I'm going to be there. It's going to be fun. But, it'll also, be there forever. It's not like a limited time event or anything. These are just dungeons. You can do them whenever the fuck you want. Even if, like, years down the line, anyone that ever decides to play Final Fantasy XIV, the Yorha content will be there for you. And it will probably still be cool.
It'll be very cool. There'll be more Yorha content.
Oh, man, maybe. Who knows? Yokotaro's a madman.
He is, though. He's my favorite kind of madman. A madman with a budget.
I'm about it.
Well, Tegan, if you like Mad Men with a budget,
yeah,
there's a game coming out next month with a P button.
Yeah, I do. I do.
A whole game about making sure that your backpack is properly balanced and you pee.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We gotta make sure that we sync up our pee location. We gotta post that screenshot of exactly where we're taking the piss.
It's crucial.
Impossible P.
Mm-hmm.
Why the deep side, Tegan?
You know. Because I'm back on my bullshit.
What do you mean you're back on your bullshit?
I have some bad news, Rocky.
Oh?
I failed your challenge.
It happens. You'll get them next time.
Yeah, I did a lot of, sleeping this week, honestly, because, like, you know how when you have a new job, like, you're taking it all that, like, new info, and then, like, you go home and go to bed so you can digest it?
True.
That, but I haven't had to get up at 5 a.m. for, like, a year and a half. That's usually when I've been going to bed, so...
Yeah.
It's been a time, but I did read a lot of fan fiction.
How much fan fiction did you read, Tegan?
I read 2 38,000-word stories.
Jesus.
And then I read a 32-chapter multific, and then I read a bunch of 4,000-word or shorter drabbles on Tumblr.
Okay. Tegan, what's a drabble?
A drabble is a fan fiction, but it's generally a one-shot, which means, like, there's only one chapter, and usually they're less than 10,000 words, but sometimes people get carried away.
Okay. Sure.
But see, there's this thing going on right now called Fictober, which is like NaNoWriMo, except it's a warm-up.
Okay, sure. That makes sense.
So, like, you know how artists have, like, Inktober or Digitober or whatever, where they do, like, ink paintings or digital, like, work or whatever to, like, with, like, a different prompt every day sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's the same thing, but fan fiction.
Oh, is it called Fictober? Did you say Fictober?
Yeah, Fictober. Fictober.
Okay, so I thought you said Thicktober with, like, 2 C's, and I'm like, yo, I'm kind of into that.
Oh.
I don't know what that's about.
I mean, you know what? If you want to spread some positivity that way, you go for it.
I'm about it.
But, yeah. Whoops. But, I'm also on my other bullshit because, I've been playing a lot of Digimon Re-Arise, which is a mobile game that you can spend money in, Brian. I spent $30 today.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with doing that, so...
I'm afraid we're going down the fancy dress hole.
Tegan was spending some money on some dresses.
I was spending a lot of money on some digital dresses, but I did get my first Angemon today, so I'm pretty pleased.
Congratulations.
That's my man! And I found out there's a thing on this game. It's a widget. So that means I can look at my Digimon partner who's sitting in my phone on my main screen and see what's up. And they'll talk to you, sort of, and, like, let you know if, like, there's stuff going on. And one of my friends has a Myotismon, which, if you'll remember, was a villain from season 1 of Digimon, who was a big vampire man. And, he is mean. He'll like be sitting there on his little thing and it'll just pop up and be like, "You're ignoring me? Who do you think you are?" And you're just like, "Calm down, babe, chill." It's like, "You're busy?" "Yeah, right." It's like, "Okay, sassy." And then it's like, if you're trying to play in the middle of the night, it'll be like, "Let's start a riot."
Oh, God.
I don't know why. He's so mean. Angemon's so nice. And he's so mean. Angemon's just like, "Hey, come back, I found a thing. Can we get snacks later?" I'm like, "Aw, what a good boy. What a good angelic Digimon." Gotta get yourself a holy Digimon.
Oh, man. Get one that can do both, Tegan.
No, don't get yourself, like, no, no. You don't know what you ask. You do not understand the hole that will open up.
Oh, God.
I mean, you could DNA Digivolve, so, like, you could DNA Digivolve a Lady Devamon and a Lady Angelamon, or you could get, like, a fucking Lucamon, if you really wanted, but, like, that's some digital god power there, and I don't think a child should have access to that, personally. Because what are we if not children?
So digital god power isn't rated E for everyone?
No, digital god power is not rated. I mean, that Myotismon's barely rated E for everyone. He was fucking actually kidnapping people, drinking their blood, leaving corpses around the real world. Like, might I remind you, this is a children's show. But, like, in addition to, like, that Monster Collection franchise, we also got another Monster Collection franchise I have to talk about. So just so you guys know, Pokemon have heard us, the Pokemon team have heard us, and they want our money. So you too can now support your favorite Galar starter with an official team jersey. I couldn't say it with a straight face, I'm sorry.
Wait, the starters have jerseys?
The starters have jerseys. You can be part of the Grookey gang.
I want to see these jerseys.
Yeah, you can be part of the Grookey gang. You can be part of the Score Bunny squad. Or you can be part of the Sobble Defense Force.
I am a fan of the Sobble Defense Force,
Look
though.
at these. Look at them. And on the back of them, they say proudly which team you're on, in case anyone was fucking confused by what fucking team you're on.
I dislike the fact that they're just palette swaps. I'm not a fan of that.
I still think they're neat.
They are neat.
They are neat. And the little, the design around the Pokemon itself is different. So, like, Scorbunny has little fires around him, and Sobble's got little bubble. I think they're bubbles. Let me look. Yeah, they're bubbles. And Grookey's got little flowers or leaves. They're cute. You can also get, varsity hoodies.
I need to see these hoodies.
Or you could get relaxed t-shirts, relaxed fit t-shirts. It's great. The Pokemon Center wants my fucking money, and you know what?
Any t-shirt bought in a sufficiently large size is a relaxed fit t-shirt.
I mean, you're not wrong. You certainly are not wrong, sir.
Yo, but like this, like this Sobble varsity hoodie is kind of hot. I actually really fucking dig it.
Right? And then they have those t-shirts where they have the Pokemon on them as like little banners.
Brian, are you seeing these shits, man?
Here to tell you, hate to disappoint, but I'm not erect.
Okay.
Not erect.
How dare.
You can only get so erect. I think you only have a certain number of boners in your lifetime.
Yeah, that's right.
Or something.
I don't know. I don't think lady boners count. Lady boners aren't real boners, but like they are powerful.
I think there's a different term that should.
That's okay. Here we go. That's okay. Brian, I have the perfect t-shirt for you. From the Pokemon team. There it is. Fucking Team Rocket, piece of shit.
Damn.
That was aggressive and rapid.
You're welcome. I only have 2 modes.
Are they aggressive and rapid?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Man, it's also inches away from a sex thing. Damn. Look at all these fucking
the
t-shirts.
Pokemon Center's been, like, out for my wallet really badly.
I don't know. I think that, like...
Yeah, I have 6 out of the 8 available, Day with Pikachu Funko Pops now. The only 2 I'm missing are the ones that are $149.
I think the biggest problem with, like, clothing for nerd bullshit is that, like, most nerd bullshit is, ugly and easily identifiable as what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, there are 2 primary reactions. Reaction 1 is, sigh with a sense of futility and then just put the bullshit onto a black t-shirt because you realize, well, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. You're identifying yourself as a geek loser, so let's just put it in a black t-shirt and move on. Possibility 2, and that appears to be what's going on here with the Pokemon Company, is struggle with every fiber of your collective being to put out a safe clothing product. And what I mean by safe clothing product is they're like, okay, what if at first blush a person who doesn't participate in your bullshit looked at your clothing item, would they just think of you as a normal, regular people?
Well, if you're looking for that, might I recommend for you instead the Japanese Pokemon Center professional shirt line?
Yeah. They come through Uniqlo, right?
I think so. Or maybe these ones are Pokemon Center exclusive. I'm not sure, but there is a different shirt for all 151 original Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen these.
They're excellent.
Yeah, they are, as near as I can tell, mostly safe.
They're so cute.
Like these jerseys don't seem that safe. I think some fucking nerd walking through the Kroger with a jersey on it that says Score Bunny on the back is
That's gonna be me, watch out. I can wear it on Team Jersey Day at work because I don't have any sports apparel.
Man, it was either this or an esports jersey. An actual esports jersey.
So, like...
Then I'd have to support an actual esports team.
So the problem with the Score Bunny jersey...
is that Score Bunny's the best Pokemon
like
and it's going to sell out. You're right. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, that's sure. Okay, good.
No, what is it? It's okay. What is it?
All right. Tegan, be a regular human woman interacting with this terrible world.
Okay, I think I can do that.
Okay. Now be that wearing the Score Bunny jersey.
Oh no, I'm more attractive.
Okay. Now in this hypothetical, continue to be in public at a place where people who are, moderately terrible go to congregate. Like, I don't know, like an Applebee's or something.
Sure.
Okay, Am I getting one of those awful vampire drinks that's like purple? Am I getting like 6 of those before we have this interaction?
You're waiting for a table with an oversized vibrating pager.
Oh, okay, cool. Sweet. All right. Okay. I'm standing like next to my mom or something.
Worse yet, let's say the parking lot was really full, and so like your mom is still outside squaring the car away. So God forbid you're sitting there with a giant oversized pager.
Vibrating pager by myself with the jersey shirt on it. I got it. Okay.
At which point, so are you fully in character? Are you ready for this scene?
I'm ready. I'm already mildly annoyed, so we're good.
At which point, a guy who has had way too many #green apple margaritas saunters up to you.
Disgusting. All right.
Hey. So, how does somebody score you, Bunny?
Oh my god. Oh.
I do want to take a step back for a second.
Yeah.
Is Brian positing that the Score Bunny jersey will make women in this terrible world a target for like
it's a bad thirst
drunk dudes?
It's a bad thirst
I don't think Rocky, here's the thing I don't think you understand about being a woman in any terrible world.
Sure.
If you were anything remotely nerdy, you're already getting comments like that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's... So, like, imagine a thing which is... I think we've all seen the horrible, horrible, terrible meme which is proof that Reddit should be buried at the center of the earth and then have concrete poured on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, it's some piece of fantasy art, and there's like a little knight, and he's like at the bottom center of the frame, and then like there's a towering like 80-foot like knight with like a flaming sword, you know, who looks impossibly difficult to defeat, and like the little tiny the knight at the bottom of the center of the frame is labeled me putting it all out there, and then like the giant 80-foot tall, like very, very scary looking knight with the flaming sword is labeled that goth girl at GameStop refusing to acknowledge me.
Yeah, you're not fucking wrong, my dude.
I've seen those memes. I still think they're lame.
Yes, Rocky, of course they're lame. But the problem is that first meme somewhere was made by someone speaking from a point of sincerity. And
sure.
The problem I see with the Score Bunny shirt is specifically the Score Bunny jersey is that like nerd garments already bring out these terrible horny werewolves, and
this will make it worse.
And Score Bunny already sounds like the name of a fucking website, which is shot entirely in POV, and I tell you, they're not paragliding. You know, like
God,
they're
amazing.
It's like this week on ScoreBuddy.com.
Jesus, wow,
Dylan
amazing.
Harper. You know, like
I can't. I love this. This is great. I can't wait to actually own this shirt and have this interaction in public, and then come back on the show and be like, Brian, you will never guess the kind of interaction I had at my local Applebee's this evening.
You know, it won't even be like an Applebee's. It'll be like, Brian, I was literally driving down the road and I passed by a BW3, and then like it was a Buffalo Wild Wings, and the doors of the building just burst off, and then like a surge of fucking horny werewolves came pouring out of the Buffalo Wild Wings.
In various states of like face paint, because they're wearing face paint at the Buffalo Wild Wings while they're watching the game.
Right.
Like,
you know, the Patriots are playing today. And they're all like, how do we score you, Bunny?
And then I fucking just commit suicide. I just drive that car right through the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah. After you fucking just mow through that entire crowd, doing a justice, you're going to pull up on top of the pile of limp and broken bodies. You're going to force the driver's side car door open and step out over the littered corpses, saunter up to the bar, and say, "One Bahama Mama, please."
Can I get the hoodie? The hoodie's cute, and I don't think it says Score Bunny on the back. It doesn't. It says it on the side. It says it on the sleeve.
On the sleeves, yeah.
But it looks comfy.
Note to self, get pants to say juicy on the end.
Oh, disgusting. Don't do that.
What do you mean? Well, people can wear juicy sweatpants. Who cares?
People can wear juicy sweatpants. I don't think Brian can wear juicy sweatpants.
Brian can wear whatever he wants as long as it's the way he feels. Like that's what fashion's about.
Brian, do you feel juicy?
There's lots of juice. A lot.
He's got some juice. Let him rock.
Guys, would you like to talk about the news?
Oh, wait, hold on. Brian, did you play Hearthstone this week?
Huh? Oh, not at all. I
Did you
didn't play
really
Hearthstone,
not?
and that is why I've been playing Mario Maker, and why we have a Patreon.
Oh, gang. Shoutouts. Congratulations. So, Brian, I didn't tell you last week because I was embarrassed. I am embarrassed presently, but I'm going to put it on the show. Whatever, who cares? I have a troubling relationship with pornography and masturbation, and I am, like, doing nofap because wait,
stop. You know that meme where it's just like the guy just like turns and is blinking a bunch? I literally just did that. I was just like,
yeah.
Wait, are you talking about the Drew Scanlon meme?
Maybe?
Yes.
Who's Drew Scanlon?
That's the guy that's blinking Tegan.
Okay. Then yes.
Drew Scanlon is a great guy.
Yeah, he actually is. But yeah, so like I'm doing NoFap. I am currently, 6 days in, and I've been keeping busy trying to do other things.
I'm sorry. Jesus, continue.
No, what was that, Brian?
Brian just had the same reaction I did. He didn't fucking think you were serious.
Oh fuck!
I just.
There we go.
Oh no, we've lost Brian. Oh no, Rocky, you broke Brian.
It's okay. It was gonna happen someday.
Rocky, continue.
No, Brian, go ahead, man. Say it with your chest.
All right, so you're 6 days in.
6 days in. And, I've, it's been, 10 years where, I haven't been able to, go to sleep without jacking off. I think it's just something wrong with my brain.
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
I'm so serious. I would just stay awake and just, walk around and not do anything. When I jack off, I go to sleep. That's just how it's been since, forever. And, now, I'm, I don't know, medicating myself and whatnot. I'm getting closer to a normal sleep schedule. I'm a lot more productive throughout the day. That's where I'm at right now. But that started on Monday.
Rocky, what the fuck?
Damn.
Anna.
Okay, for our listeners, I want to give you a little insight, listeners, into just a little bit, underneath the hood, how the show works, how the show is built. And one of the things that is a repeated theme of conversations that happens in the making of Impossible Coin. One of the things that Brian, says over and over when talking about the way our show is built is that I will say over and over again, I don't want to see video game news in our banter section. Rocky and Tegan will verify that this is a repeated talking point.
Yes, it is. Even though we stick it in there.
And I will always...
He always gets mad about it before the show starts, and we always go, Brian, it doesn't matter. We don't want to do the full news story. We just want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, whatever. And then he lets us do it. Or we decide not to do it.
Right. And I say, these are things that are banter. These are things that are news.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, I guess at this point, if you're our patron... and you have access to last week's show doc, you'll see that our banter section is no longer even just labeled banter. It's things that are banter. Inside baseball reference to this speech I give on the reg. Rocky.
Yeah.
I needed a bullet-pointed story down here in news. One second. One second.
Oh, Brian's typing a bullet pointed news plot?
He is, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God. It's the first story.
Okay, fuck off, Brian.
You just typed, it's like a lot, and then said a bunch.
It's a bunch. Oh, man.
I can't. Guys, thank you for listening to the last episode of Impossible Coin. It turns out everybody was dead on the island.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Rocky?
Yeah.
It's like Rocky was like, man, I heard that segment that Brian, did on a recent episode on
Harmontown,
losing himself to spiraling depression and Harmontown and all that shit. And it's like, you know what, motherfucker? Just wait till you hear my verse.
Oh my God.
Rocky, here's my hot tip for going to sleep.
Let's go.
Close your eyes, and then you're asleep.
Holy shit.
I go to sleep so fast, this has never been a problem for me. I've never not been able to sleep. Like, if I don't fall asleep in 2 minutes, I'm like, well, I guess I'm not sleeping for another hour. Like, what the hell? Hey, Rocky, what the heck?
What?
All right. So, I mean, I have follow-up questions.
Sure, let's go, man.
I put on my Ace reporter hat.
Uh-huh.
That has a hat band and that little paper card on the side that says press.
Yeah, it says press, yeah.
And a little flip notebook now.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm going to have to speak in a transatlantic accent.
Sure. Let's get it, man.
Do you jack off at other times of the day?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, now, no, but previously, yes.
Give us an idea. Are we talking 2, 3, 4, 5 times?
I think usually is about 2 times. I think I've gotten to like 12 before, but like that's a whole other thing. That was like a birthday thing. That was bullshit.
What?
What? Was it like a present to yourself?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I
don't understand this.
I mean, that is apparent. I totally get that. That is being communicated to me as we speak.
I have a question. When I'm reading fanfiction, do you assume I'm reading smut?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Good, because that scared me for a second. Whoa.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky.
Yes.
Have you registered a screen name at any given PornTube sites to leave horny comments?
No. Jesus Christ, man. I'm not a degenerate. Just jerk off. Like, fuck.
At no point have you been like, oh, God, I just want to glaze Gianna Michaels like a Cinnabon.
Jesus Christ. No. I haven't done that. Actually, I don't really like tube sites that much.
Here we go. You know what, Tegan?
Mm-hmm.
We've been building toward this moment where we've been building toward Rocky discusses his porn preferences.
Does this mean, wait, stop. Does that mean that we've reached the climax?
Tegan, we don't get to that until No Nut November is over.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. I've never actually been able to do No Nut November. It's actually, I really hate it. It's like, ugh.
Wow.
So, Rocky, you're not a fan of tube sites.
I'm not, no.
Where are you going, Rocky? Where are you going?
I don't feel like...
You don't pay for porn, right?
No, I don't pay for porn.
Okay. I'm like, that shit's free.
Rocky, I have given all of these speeches on, like, the ethical consumption of pornography on Twitter about how, like, paying for porn is important.
Yes, paying for porn is important. I understand
I do agree it's also important. I'm just saying that I don't. Which, is not a thing that I like about myself, but whatever.
Okay.
You can support your favorite porn artist without supporting the channels that they run through. Because some of those are kind of predatory.
Support your porn artist directly. Pay your sex workers.
Use their Patreons.
Use their Patreons. It's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah. So, Rocky, where are you going?
Fine.
I don't know if I'm old enough for this conversation.
No, it's fine. I usually hang out in smaller communities, that like run like IRC chats. The past years they've been moving over to Discord.
Oh no.
But and usually they're just like actually, you know what, I might be a degenerate. It would be degens like me that would hang out and like trade photos and whatnot. That's just a lot that would go.
You're not registering a screen name to say that you want to glaze Gianna Michaels like a Cinnabon. You are full on hanging out on Discord servers where whole groups of people are talking about how they want to glaze Gianna Michaels like a Cinnabon.
That would be more accurate, yes.
I also keep on saying Gianna Michaels
as a callback. I know.
Yeah. Not only is it a callback on this show, it is my only active point of reference for your porno taste.
That is not an accident.
I mean, I assume that whatever you're watching is probably some pretty meat and potato shit, and there's no real nightmare stuff in there. Because I think if there was real nightmare stuff in there, Rocky, you would not have felt comfortable surfacing this conversation where you are now currently feeling the heat.
That does sound like a reasonable analysis.
Yeah. So you heard it here first, Tegan. Certified no nightmare shit.
That tells me nothing, honestly, but okay. I'll trust that means something.
Okay, all right. So, Tegan, picture a world where there are two porn videos, right? And one of them is say a pretty straightforward, here's two people, they do a sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really much to it. There's not much talking. Really, not even really any talking. They just do some kissing. They do a little sexing. Maybe it's shot from a POV. Maybe it's not. It's just mainly two people doing a sex. Now imagine a video labeled, "Woman refuses to let you take a shit before she turns into a giant and then crushes you."
Yeah, giantess stuff is kind of weird. I don't get it. Not to knock the fetish. I know that people are really into it, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so Tegan, there's a whole world out there of things called bathroom refusal and giantess.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Are you guys, are y'all okay?
Tegan, I'm not out here watching bathroom refusal and giantess videos. I just know that because of the way the internet works, stuff like this has become rampant because the same things that make YouTube bad also make the Globe's primary porn consumption channels also bad because they're also driven by algorithms that lend preference to what the algorithm believes is more extreme content. If you on YouTube, and we've talked about this before, watch a video called How to Bake a Cake, then YouTube thinks the way it can guarantee to get you to watch a second video will be now how to bake a cake with a fucking gun in it. Shitty porn distribution channels, which are designed to break the stable income of sex workers, work the exact same way. So if you watch a video called Two People Do a Sex, the next thing it's going to feed you is two people doing a sex, but one of them is your stepmom.
Well,
what if instead I watch that series that's you come over and I don't fuck you? The wholesome one? Can I watch the wholesome one?
I'm not going to exactly call them wholesome, but I'm going to say that content exists.
Oh no. What do you mean? I'm afraid. I just won't.
Brian, I can't speak to the whole of YouTube, but I think I do know a thing about Pornhub, and their algorithm seems to point toward popularity, and while they seem to feed the same stuff, mostly because people are watching it on a lark, which is why faux sex stuff got really big, was because people were just oh man, I can't believe this is real, and they would just watch it, and that would rack up views. But I think that's more of a statement of popularity as opposed to extremity.
Well, I might agree, Rocky, but there was a point where Pornhub eventually conceded that their algorithms were broken and there was no way they could stop suggesting faux incest videos to people anymore by default without completely breaking their algorithm.
Right.
Which is why they eventually had to roll out a button for people's search preferences, a exclude faux incest button. You have to opt into, please stop showing me fake incest.
Right.
Yeah. Pornhub's preference is to feed videos with shocking and extreme implied incest content or outright racism. Pornhub is a magnet and a megaphone for racism. As a point of reference, here are the top 3 video titles at the top of Pornhub right now.
Okay, sure.
Stunning Lana Rhoades can't get enough of Mandingo's monster black cock.
Mm-hmm.
Mother and stepson's secret spring break, Charlie Chase family. And playing Minecraft while mommy gets fucked hard.
Okay, I have a question, because I know it's chopped into different things, and it's there's quotes, hot videos, and then there's recommended for you.
Those are hot porn videos.
Okay, so that is a function, from the algorithm, but not because of things that they think that you will like, but because they are things that are popular. Those things are popular because people watch them. Like, you're not going to get like...
the thing is that they're only sharing part of the sauce there by saying,
sure.
Like, because they're not exposing all of the different qualifications of it. For example, like, when people upload the entirety of fucking Hamilton to Pornhub, which has happened several times,
yes.
Even though people were watching it left and right because they were handing out the URL for the upload on Twitter, and it was burning up view counts, like, all the times that, like, Avengers Endgame and Hamilton got uploaded never made it to the front page because there are underlying qualifications that get applied to things that, despite view metrics, don't get pushed to the front page.
Sure. Yeah.
I
mean,
so, like, there's also, like, a weighting and evaluation of things based on content, because if you're feeding something to any kind of, like, splash page, you're targeting. Like, even if you're trying to create the impression that you're not targeting, you're still targeting. Like,
sure.
The thing is that, like, YouTube has so completely, like, most people have had YouTube accounts at this point so long that, like, everybody's YouTube account has this sensation of being so highly, highly specialized and so highly, highly attuned to your personal viewing history and your personal viewing activity, that in order to try and, like, fool you for even just a little bit, YouTube will have to, like, create rows. Like, a good example is, like, the top news row. If you go to YouTube, like, they'll be like recommended, which is like a row of, like, 2 videos, like 2 rows of videos, which are 6 videos wide on a PC desktop. And then below that is, like, top news. And even though what videos it's showing you in top news are based on your historical viewing activity, because it's labeled top news and all this stuff is, like, about things going on in the world, people are like, oh, well, because this is labeled news, I'll treat this like it's less targeted. The same goes for, like, recently uploaded. People are like, oh, these are recently uploaded. Well, yeah, they're recently uploaded. Like, 800 hours of content gets uploaded to YouTube every minute. So, of course, there are recently uploaded videos, but these recently uploaded videos are recently uploaded videos which they believe target you. Like,
okay, but YouTube's a different animal. While Pornhub definitely, like, tracks information based on IP address, like, if you don't have a quote-unquote profile on Pornhub, they're still paying attention to what you watch and suggesting things that way. YouTube has, like, a, like, transparent view history of what you're looking at. I feel like we're comparing not apples to oranges, but, like, durians to grapefruits. It's not a different comparison. I think we're doing apples to oranges.
Well, Rocky, I'm glad to hear that your experience of not draining your durians is, I guess, going all right so far.
Going all right so far.
Godspeed. Are you swearing it off altogether, or is this the kind of thing where you think you need to go to a room where there's burnt coffee and people stand up and talk?
No, I don't think so. It's not something that's, like, really disrupted my life. It's just something I don't like about myself, so I'm changing it.
Yeah. Who would like to talk about the other news?
Me?
Sure,
Okay.
Let's do it.
So as everyone knows, and as Brian especially knows, much to his chagrin, when there's a direct, I try to cover it. And it doesn't matter whose direct it is at this point. I'm just going to do it. So everyone's favorite online strategy game company, Riot, had a direct. Kind of.
Yeah, it was kind of a direct.
I mean, it was a YouTube direct. It's like a direct. They just didn't call it a direct. They called it a 10-year anniversary special or whatever. Because can you believe that League of Legends has been around for 10 years? Wow.
I mean, they had to count the beta, but whatever.
Well, I mean, of course they counted the beta. It turns out you're now going to be able to play League of Legends on your phone and on your home console in League of Legends The Wild Rift. And apparently games are only going to take like 15 to 20 minutes, which just seems absurd to me, honestly. League games take 40 minutes. Minimum. I don't know how they're going to do this, but okay. Sure, Riot. You're going to do that. They're also going to bring Teamfight Tactics to mobile, and they're doing seasonal sets for different champions, origins, classes, and items. So, like, every quarter or whatever, they're going to switch them out. And all the changes are going to be made from, like, the different champions' origin stories and lore from the towns they're from or whatever. And, like, the different skin sets and stuff. So, all that tells me is that whatever the summer season is, there's gonna be, like, only characters with swim skins.
I'm down with Pool Party Leona again.
I bet you are.
There need to be more Pool Party skins, but only for the champions I like. Because none of my favorite champions have a Pool Party skin.
Wait, you don't like Pool Party Lulu?
Pool Party Lulu's cute. That's fair. But, like, I don't play Lulu as much as I play, like, Morgana or Lux or Ahri.
All three of them have, like, 3,200 skins.
Yeah, I know, but they don't have a Pool Party skin.
God damn it, Tegan.
Don't worry. When Lux had a Star Guardian skin, I immediately started screaming about how Ahri didn't have a Star Guardian skin, and then she got one in the next round, so whatever.
Yep.
And Nico got one, and she looks cute, and now there's, like, villain Star Guardians, and what the heck, but that's okay. Because Riot's also doing an animated series called Arcane, which is basically an isekai, but it's set in League of Legends.
Yeah.
So, like...
The Isekai League of Legends. The League of Legends Isekai.
Yeah, the League of Legends Isekai, which is, like, 90% of what happened when people started writing League of Legends fanfiction, and they were like, the Summoners pulled into the game, and, like, I don't know.
I'm actually big mad that they didn't just, like, say, hey, by the way, we're doing the King's Avatar now. It's us. And, like, that would have been enough. I would have been fine with that.
That would have been fine. It'd have been great, but, you know, nope. They're doing, Arcane. It looks neat. I don't know. I've liked the animated stuff so far, so, we'll see. They're also doing, Rocky, a fighting game, which is codenamed Project L. L for League of Legends. Duh.
Yeah.
And the team that's been working on it is not going to say anything for a while. They're going to be shush, and that's it.
I know, like, a year or so ago, like, Riot took the Rolling Thunder team, the guys that were working on that game, and the fighting game looks good.
We will see how that goes in a while, I guess. And they're going to make a tactical first-person shooter called Project A. I guess you need a game for the marksman also? I don't know.
It looks like a hero shooter, like Overwatch.
It does, but I don't know. We'll see. And they're doing a management sim. They're pulling a FIFA on us, and everybody's going to be, like, mocapped and, like, modeled after their regular esport counterparts. So, like, you can sign Faker on your fantasy esports team now.
That could be cool. It's League Manager instead of Football Manager.
Yeah, it's League of Legends Manager, and it's actually called Legends Esports Manager, and it's coming out in 2020. And Brian, special for you! There's gonna be a League of Legends card game called Legends of Runeterra. Just for you, Brian. You'll be able to buy cards directly with either real money or in-game currency, instead of, like, just blind packs.
Is there any early word on whether it will be good or bad?
I've actually heard good from, like, the YouTubers.
Yeah, the article I was reading said good. said, like, actually pretty fun. The goal is to be more accessible than Hearthstone.
Well, at this point, Hearthstone is, like, completely inaccessible if you haven't already been on that shit show for a while.
Right.
So, that's not a high bar to clear.
Well, I mean, basically what they're going to try and do is get all the people who play League to play their card game. So, like, So you're not coming ahead of the game, because you're already going to understand how the card game works, Brian.
I suspect another part of the market that they're targeting is probably disaffected Hearthstone players.
Sure. Yeah, they copied everyone's homework.
Yes, so you're going to come in on top of the group, because you already know how it's going to work.
I will keep an eye on it, but there is a card game I am more optimistic about replacing Hearthstone for me.
Is it Pokemon? Is it the Pokemon trading card game?
Which is the one from Second Dinner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's fair, I guess.
Because those were the guys who were working on Hearthstone when Hearthstone was fun. So.
And then they got booted or whatever.
No, they quit. They're like, we're going to go make our own game now and not work here. So very much they saw the writing on the wall at Blizzard and got out while the getting was good. And now they're doing a collectible card game with the Marvel license. So good for them.
How many Spider-Verses are going to be in it, though?
My guess is all of the Spider-Verses.
I hope so.
Because if I can't play a Peter Porker card, then why am I even fucking alive?
Fair. Rocky, what you got?
From what I'm looking at, they're basically making Street Fighter 4, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and Dota Auto Chess, and their Isekai anime, but it's all branded under League of Legends. And that's fine for League of Legends people, and maybe they're trying to build like a whole new generation of like Nintendo stands or whatever, but it feels kind of whack. But if the games are good, the games are good, but I probably won't spend that much time with them.
It's weird because like at this point, like for most games this old are focusing at this point, and honestly at this point, most entertainment-based businesses this old are at this point focusing on customer retention versus like building new customers. Like, how can we make sure that we keep everybody who is currently keeping us, money? Like, looking at, like, the way Blizzard treats World of Warcraft customers is, a good example of that. But this seems like an active play to get new customers and just assume that, like, people who aren't currently playing League of Legends have enough familiarity with it as a brand that their friends trust, that when Riot rolls out something which is in a genre that they enjoy or mess with, that they'll be like, oh, well, I'm a guy who normally plays first-person shooters, and I love squad-based shooters. I'll try this because League of Legends is a brand that my friends try. Like, I think that, like, the Nintendo stand comment actually holds some sway here, because it feels like Riot has a pretty strong valuation of their own brand worth. They think that their brand is pretty valuable, which is why they can get out there and be like, a League fighting game, a League shooter, like...
I feel like this is more of a retention get, though, because colloquially, I know a lot of people who are either currently playing League of Legends or have played League of Legends, but then they just moved on to other stuff. Like, they got really into League of Legends because there's a lot to get into, especially when you start. Like, there's a lot of stuff to learn, a lot of techniques to, like, perfect and, like, develop. But, like, once you get a handle of things that you care about and realize you're not going to be a pro player, like, you usually drop it and you go to something else because, like, the community is so toxic. Why would I spend most of my time here? But the reason I feel like it's a retention get is to get the people who are familiar with the brand to come back. I was like, hey, no, I know you're playing Overwatch now, but, like, Riot has an Overwatch game now, so you could just play Overwatch with your Riot friends, too. And, like, they come back, and maybe they get a little bit into League of Legends again, or maybe they just, like, mess around with the world. Because one of the more interesting parts of the League of Legends property that they haven't really used in a long time is this huge sprawling worlds that they have. That, like, the people that live in Runeterra or the people that live in the Hex Tech nation or whatever, they are just kind of things that are like whispered about in like flavor text that they didn't do anything with. And like each of those places could be an entire fucking game. They really could. And now it looks like they're getting closer to doing stuff like that by like pulling on the strings that like the rest of this world actually has. But they're doing so instead of creating new properties, which like, you know, requires more risk. They are essentially like retrofitting older is a strong word, but different properties that they can just like inject their lore into.
Well, I'll certainly be interested in, you know, seeing how this plays out and seeing whether like it gets lapsed fans to come back, whether it excites people who are still playing but were kind of like down on it, because like we've talked about on the show, the idea that there comes a point where when a franchise feels tired enough that everybody who plays it is like, I play League of Legends all the time. Of course I hate it. You know, like that idea that like,
yeah,
people who play games start to eventually develop an antagonistic relationship with it. Like I am curious as to like what this does for Riot and whether bringing some form of League to console and mobile increases total like what kind of impact is this going to have on total player population. And I feel like somewhere Lord Gabe of the Knives is sweating his balls off. Valve has released like one new game in the last 10 years, which was Artifact, the card game. Oh, I guess they also did eventually put out an auto chess. But, like, that Artifact card game, even though they went and got fucking Richard Garfield, the guy who created Magic the Gathering, bombed super hard. Super hard. Like,
well, it's because they're not doing... There's, 8 to 12 other things that people expect them to be doing. And it's like, oh, by the way, we're making a card game. It's like, I guess.
I mean, it's like no one gives a shit. Absolutely, like, less than no people give a shit. Inverse people give a shit. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, Lord Knife King. What else is going on?
If you must know, several United States lawmakers, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Marco Rubio, have signed a joint letter addressed to Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, expressing deep concern over Chung's suspension. The letter in question, signed by U.S. Senators Rod Wyden, the Democrat from Oregon, Marco Rubio, Republican from Florida, and Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from New York, Mike Gallagher, Republican from Wisconsin, and Tom Malinowski, Democrat from New Jersey, expresses, quote, deep concern about the ruling. We have a quote from the letter that reads, "Your company claims to stand by one's right to individual thoughts and opinions, yet many of your employees believe that Activision Blizzard's decision to punish Mr. Chung runs counter to those values. Because your company is such a pillar in the gaming industry, your disappointing decision could have a chilling effect on gamers who seek to use their platform to promote human rights and basic freedoms." So, it looks like one thing that Congress can agree on, across the aisle, is that Blizzard is being a dick, and they need to get their shit together.
I mean, that's because Blizzard is being a dick, and they need to get their shit together.
True.
So you heard it here first, folks. There are two things that bring people together across the aisle, which are don't abandon the Kurds and Activision fucking sucks.
Oh, right, yeah.
A platform we can all believe in.
Vote for Brian Cartwright.
I was going to try and find a way of tying the next story to Rocky jacking off constantly. I can't figure it out. I can't thread that needle. I was going to say, speaking of things that inspire me to rub one out, Analogue is at it again.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
So, y'all remember Analogue, right?
I do, yeah. They put out the Super NT and the Mega SG.
The fancy as fuck FPGA, SNES, and Genesis. So, they had been teasing for some weeks that they were going to have a new project, and the new project was going to be something mobile, something handheld. It was very interesting timing because when they started teasing, a lot of the reaction in a larger marketplace was like, oh man, I'm tired of buying analog hardware devices that that are designed to emulate a single device. So when they made this announcement, it was interesting because it attracted new people to pay attention to them and also seemed to speak to basically any concern that like their existing fan base might have about like limited functionality or limited utility of these really, really nice devices. And whoa, buddy, the Analogue Pocket looks awesome. It comes by default with cores that allow it to run Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. And it has cores for Neo Geo Pocket, Sega Game Gear, and Atari Lynx. You'll just need a physical adapter to insert the cartridges for those systems. Yeah, the cores are there. You just need an adapter. Those adapters will be sold separately. The device uses a rechargeable USB-C battery, which means that you can finally play Sega Game Gear games on a machine that won't run through 6 AA batteries in 90 minutes. Very, very exciting. It has stereo speakers, which is also pretty exciting. And it has a 3.5mm headphone jack. It also supports Game Boy Link cables. So since the thing is fully FPGA, you could Game Boy Link cable your Analog Pocket to OG Game Boys and get that working. Something I am curious about, and I want to see if somebody does it, is can you use the GameCube to GBA cable on the Analog Pocket?
Well, I guess the hinges would be a design consideration. Or I guess they would just like try to strip it down so it doesn't like latch the way that it did on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. So I'm definitely curious about that. Because the GBA to GameCube link cable wasn't something that saw a lot of use, but the use it did see was pretty good.
Yeah, but, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure those games will be playable soon in different places. Like, I know Crystal Chronicles is going to be everywhere, including mobile. Four Swords Adventures, I feel like, ended up someplace that's more accessible, but I can't remember right now.
Now, that Pac-Man game.
Oh, yeah, there was a Pac-Man game.
Yeah, which was a game which made use of there being data on a screen which not all players could see. So when you had, like, people running around being the ghosts trying to get Pac-Man, and Pac-Man is looking at his screen on his Game Boy Advance. I mean, obviously that conceit has showed up since then. Like, Nintendo Land for the Wii U uses a similar conceit for its Luigi's Mansion minigame, but that Pac-Man game, as far as I know, hasn't shown up anywhere. So I'm curious to see if that'll work. So other things about it, which are pretty wild, it's going to come loaded with Nanoloop, which is pretty exciting.
What's Nanoloop?
So Nanoloop is a music sequencer software, which is designed to work with both the original Game Boy and Game Boy Advance hardware. So since you've got Game Boy and Game Boy Advance cores, that means that you can use Nanoloop on your Analog Pocket to create chiptune music on original hardware. And Game Boy music and Game Boy Advance music fucking slap. There is something about the sound on that hardware. I know that there's pleasing things about Super Nintendo music, and there is some good Super Nintendo soundtracks. But if you just like on balance compare like the sound of a Super Nintendo versus the sound of a Sega Genesis, there's something like really raw and like crunchy.
Yeah, you can
Genesis
get greater
sound.
noises out of it.
Yeah. Sending these things out with Nanoloop hopefully means that like some people will make some interesting music. But one of the things that also has me most excited about it is the thing just ships with another FPGA inside the device. So there's like the FPGA, which has the loaded cores, the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Lynx, Game Gear, and Neo Geo Pocket. All those cores are loaded on one FPGA, but because the thing has an SD card reader in it, there is an entire second FPGA inside of this device. And the way Analogue is talking about it is the whole point of having a second FPGA in there is so that way you can load new cores without impacting the first FPGA in the device. So you can like make stuff to run on that FPGA. You can compile cores and put it in there. So, like, it would not surprise me at all if somebody makes a Famicom Disk System core or an NES core or like an Atari VCS core for this thing, which all sound like great ideas. And the thing has a dock. You can dock your analog pocket. The dock will charge the device and it outputs to HDMI. So it's got kind of like a classy look. And then it will, when docked, talk to Bluetooth controllers, or you can use a wired controller. I'm excited.
I bet Nintendo's pissed.
Yeah, I bet Nintendo's pissed also.
Yeah.
I don't really think that even if they were pissed, they have...
Oh, I don't think they can do anything about it.
Yeah, I also don't think they can do anything about it, but that's a Game Boy.
No, but even more so, like, it's a Game Boy Switch.
Yeah, it really is.
There's definitely some guy at Nintendo's like, yeah, at some point we're going to start putting Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on the Switch. You can play them with you. You can, like, put them on your TV, and Analogue is already, like, doing it. And Nintendo's probably mad about that, especially at this $200 price point. I don't think there is any, like, repercussion. I don't think Analogue's in danger. But, like, someone at Nintendo's definitely throwing a stapler at a wall right now.
I don't think they're doing that in their office. I think they're renting a room, at a place that is specifically for throwing office supplies at walls, and they are doing it there.
Believe that. There's this place in, like, in New York that just lets you, like, smash old, like, office equipment. They'll lend you, like, a bat and, like, whatnot, and you could just smash, like, a fax machine or a printer.
Yeah, I think they're doing literally that, but there's also, like, karaoke music nearby, Like, maybe on the next floor there is, like, the karaoke thing, because this is obviously, like, a company activity, so, like, the entire marketing department is actually there.
It's a multiplex. I'm down.
And so I think this is a real good thing. I think that a larger customer population will still treat this as niche.
Sure.
Because, like, a lot of people aren't really necessarily going to be interested or get much use out of some of these features. Some people are going to look at this and go like, what do you mean load new cores? Like, the value proposition isn't necessarily something that engages them.
Sure, but there's definitely a complete pitch that's already done. It's like, hey, how you grew up with all these, like, old Nintendo Game Boy Color games or whatever. You can dust them off. You can put them in a new system. It only costs $200. It connects to your TV. You can put Bluetooth controllers attached to it, and you can sit down and have fun with, like, whoever. You can let the kid just play all your old games instead of buying, like, the new Xbox Project Scarlet device or whatever. There's definitely a value proposition for, like, a low-cost system with an already built-in library. You can grab from, like, obviously probably not at GameStops right now, but, like, retro stores and, like, pawn shops, and there's definitely a market for that.
One of the things that, like, I think is really exciting about this is so many screens on so many of Nintendo's classic devices are bad. Like, so much so that, like, we would get, like, updates partway through Nintendo console, like, generations, which would be like, now with screen that is remotely acceptable.
Yeah.
The launch GBA screen is, like, straight up shit.
It was not good, no.
Yeah, you would have to, like, point a light source at it with the full power of Earth's yellow sun in order to see the fucking thing. And you're like, God forbid you ever wanted to play your GBA in the dark. Like, even though that's a completely reasonable thing to want to do.
Yeah, you gotta get that stupid little swirly light thing and plug it into the USB port. Yeah, that's a life I live.
There was already an existing manufacturing infrastructure for stupid swirly light, because stupid swirly light manufacturers had been making stupid swirly lights since the original fucking Game Boy.
Yes.
They're like, hey, you know how it's completely reasonable to want to play a handheld video game machine in your bed? Too bad. Try new swirly light.
It was a racket.
So, this thing, which has a native resolution of 1600 by 1440, which is real nice.
Yep.
And an LCD screen, means the way this looks is just, like, so clean. So fucking clean. there are some really good games that look really bad on like default Nintendo handheld hardware. I could totally see like a handheld GBA Castlevania Renaissance on this thing.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. It hits all the numbers.
Yep. I think, though, that something like this, though, could definitely add fuel to the fire. People bothering Nintendo about Mother 3.
That would make them madder. Oh, God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Like, just put out the carts. You don't even need to put it on Switch. Because we could just play it on Analogue. And then they get really mad.
So, like, one of the things which is really nice about the Super NT and the Mega SG is that when you update the firmware, it meant that you were able to put your save states on the SD card, so that way if the batteries were dead in your cartridge, you could save to SD.
That's pretty cool.
Which for, you know, some of those older Game Boy games is something which is also already an issue. So, like, yeah, I think this is a cool thing. Good on you, Analogue. Once again, giving Kevtris money is one of the smartest things that anybody has ever fucking done. Like, it's like, hey, Kevtris, can you come do the thing? So, yes, please continue to do the thing, Kevtris. Well, guys, like, I think that's our news at this point, so I would be curious if any of you would like to know what came out on Steam today.
I want to know.
Sure, man, let's do it.
Tell me the secrets. Tell me the secrets of the Steam lore.
76 games came out on Steam yesterday.
Oh, okay,
sure.
Cool. Whew.
Yeah. And so far today, we have...
Gotta be more than 15.
We have 5.
What?
Oh, okay.
What? No
First
way.
up is Graphy Halloween.
Ah, shit.
Mm.
Okay.
Graphy Halloween, casual, colorful, minimalist, physical puzzle with traps, treadmills, portals, jack-o'-lanterns, spiders. I should point out that spiders is misspelled. They put an apostrophe between R and S, as if the spider was possessing something.
A spider is.
Yeah. So it's either like, we're either denoting that it is spiders, as in like spider's hat, or spiders shitting, as in the spider's taking a shit. Spiders and Changing Gravity. This game is $1.19. It is available as part of a $4.91 bundle, which contains Graphy, Graphy 2, Graphy 3, Graphy 4, and Graphy Halloween.
Graphy Halloween, everybody.
Yes, indeed. For the makers of Graphy Thanksgiving and Grary Christmas. I don't know. There's also a $34.71 bundle, which contains 51 games from developer Blender Games, which contains all their hot jams. Next up is The Volcano. A kingdom, a king, a hero, and the volcano. Enter the volcano, explore it, find element guard portals, activate them, defeat element guards, collect their spell books, and bring them back to your king. But be careful, there isn't much light inside.
Okay.
There isn't much light inside, guys.
Yeah, there's... Oh, so this appears to be a platformer with, like, heavy shooting elements. But they've decided that the best thing to do with this platformer, which has large shooting elements, is to make things really hard to fucking see. That's satisfying, because I know that what I want to do is play a game which is replete with things that can kill me that I can't see, and blind jumps that will lead to my doom. You know what? Fuck off, video game. Like, what is... You're stupid. Like, this game's $1.39, and it cost $1.40 too much.
Oh, God.
They should pay you a penny to play it, Brian.
That's correct.
Okay.
Next up is Muriel Saga. $6.99. Assuming this is going to be anime trash. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah, sure enough. Evil creatures known as dreadlings are fast approaching to threaten the world balance and mankind. In a world of might and magic, engulfed in conflict since centuries past, it is your role to stand up for all, gather your allies, and solve the remaining mysteries. This game is in early access. Why early access? Please tell me more. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is a PowerPoint presentation. Muriel Saga is an ambitious project. As such, it'll take an enormous amount of time to complete and launch it with an indie team such as ours. We want to give players a chance to feel and enjoy our game, evolving and progress. Our project is expected to stay in early access at least 1 year. However, the game is divided into 5 acts. Each subsequent act after the first is scheduled to be released through free patches from 3 to 3 months. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Oh my god, the story section is like an actual wall of text.
Oh no! No! Turn back!
Oh my god, please no. Oh, my eyes are fucking bleeding. Like, guys, it really looks like these fucking 2-penny nerds, and God bless them. It looks like these guys with like no money and just nothing are like, hey guys, what if we made Persona?
Ah, wow. Broke
Ooh.
Persona?
This is... Alright, for the cost of like 2 White Claw tall boys...
Oh, fuck.
You can play fucking Broke Sona. I don't know whether to be charmed or disgusted, but I give you Broke Sona. You can see that just like staggering wall of text in the story section.
Show me the staggering wall of text, I challenge you.
Link provided.
Yeah, this looks like Broke Sona.
Is that the school from Yandere Simulator?
I think
Kind
so,
of looks like it, doesn't it?
Ew.
The first thing I saw when I brought the thing up was like, is this Yandere Simulator? Next up is Hooks and Shotguns.
It's like Shoots and Ladders, but not.
But not.
Shoot shotguns and swing around like a madman. In Hooks and Shotguns, your brother, who is the only family have left, have been captured in a soul trap by your lifelong enemy,
A soul trap?
Silo, before he broke it into pieces. You have to put it back together and save him. Looks bad.
Sounds whack.
You know what's funny is I'm pretty sure that if you were to show me this game and show me the volcano, I'd be like, there's an 80% overlap on these games. Like they're just, they look like very much the same bad game. Next up is Zero Sum Future.
This sounds like our future. Fuck.
Rocky, we're straight up in the negative sum future. Zero Sum Future is $9.99. It's a competitive multiplayer base builder, wield potent player powers, build nefarious illegal buildings, and crush the competition, all in a no-holds-barred attempt to expand across the solar system and be the last colony standing.
So it's like Civ, but in space?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
And good thing Civ has never had any space games because, you know, last up is Sakai Furushita Kotaba Ya Uta Wo MV, a game that allows you to watch the song Sakai Furushita Kotaba Ya Uta Wo by Shippu P in VR with space particle.
Please send me that link. Please send me that link. Please send me that link. That link. At your earliest convenience, please. The hell?
Oh man, Brian Tegan's trying really hard to be nice right now.
Oh.
Tegan, what's it say?
It says, he's not wrong. Sky Furushita Kotoba ya Uta wo. MV. It's a music video. This is a music video.
Okay.
Why are we watching? Oh, did you turn on the sound for the video? This is not Project Diva, but man, it wishes it was. Oh no, this is VR only. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're trapped in this for... Oh, honey.
Hey, Brian, can you read this about this game section?
Oh, honey. Oh. Oh, I'm so sad for this poor anime girl.
Free her, if you would.
She needs freed. She deserves better. Oh, honey. Oh, poor thing. Okay. Trigger of production, I want to make a particle live with my favorite Shippupi song. Oh.
Well.
Yeah, this is just a music video. It's not even a game.
Yep. Not a game.
Yep. You see, Tegan, this you could shout about being not a game.
It didn't even say it was a game, though. It said it was a music video, and Steam still let it up. Steam, it's not a game.
It's not a game. But they're also not charging money for it. Which means someone paid...
Someone paid $100 to put a not game on the thing?
Yeah. Oh, God. Damn. I could have used that $100.
Okay. Well, friends, speaking of being able to use $100, I'd like to talk a little bit about something that Impossible Coin rolled out since our last episode. We are now on Patreon at patreon.com/Impossible Coin podcast. And we have launched, and we're out there right now. We've got 2 goal levels. We're trying to reach first a goal of $55 a month and second a goal of $125 a month. I want to tell you a little bit about what you'll see when we reach those thresholds. When we reach our goal of $55 a month, that is when you'll see each month a full-length episode devoted to anime, where that's what's going to happen. It's an anime episode. And it's an anime episode.
Let's make Brian watch Haikyuu, guys.
What?
Let's make
Haikyuu.
Brian watch Haikyuu.
Brian would actually really like Haikyuu, I think.
Brian would love Haikyuu.
So it's the anime episode. Also, at that threshold, you get the full-length wrestling episode each month, where we'll spiral. We're going to do all kinds of things. Apparently, I'm going to watch a thing called Haikyuu.
Yeah!
Yeah, that's
and,
right.
And if we get wrestling, then I think, stuff will happen, like Rocky and I will sleaze on some death matches. Tegan and I...
I'll cry about some death matches. I will also watch the death matches, but I will cry.
Plus, I think we'll get into some stardom. So, at $55 a month, you open up our exciting world. Now, if we get $125 a month, in addition to our regular weekly podcast and the monthly anime episode and the monthly wrestling episode, then they're gonna be a monthly watch-along. And I know we've had a lot of fun with those in the past. And the watch-along will get voted on by our patrons, which basically means that if your favorite thing about this show is making us suffer, then you have the power to do that. You have the power to do that. Some might say the best watch-along we ever did was when we watched Ready Player One, and it was the worst thing that ever happened. You could expose us to that. You can make us watch Space Jam and just watch me die.
Hold on! What the fuck is wrong with Space Jam?
Rocky?
Yes!
There's no quicker way to identify whether someone is a Gen Xer or a millennial than their feelings on Space Jam.
Sure.
So basically, what you can do is you can have a time where you and Tegan have a just fine time, and I have the worst time.
I want Brian to have the worst time.
Watching Space Jam would be more like a targeted assault.
I guess. Man.
I mean, I don't think I'll have the best time, but I definitely want Brian to have the worst time.
And that's real. That's a very 2019 mood. Just wanting someone else to have a bad time.
Oh.
Or maybe we put a choice on the list that says Rocky Hardy curates his Pornhub view history for us. There's...
I mean, you could also make me watch a scary movie.
Yeah, have Tegan watch Human Centipede.
I thought that Titanic was scary. So,
what?
It's not going to take much to get me into, nightmare territory.
To be fair, Rocky Billy Zane is in Titanic.
Who?
Shut up,
I
Brian.
just didn't want to drown.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I don't know why I assume that people who are trying to bring about this level of success to our Patreon would be wanting to do it to make us suffer, but
It's called shade and fraud. There's a whole word for it.
I don't know why I wish that hatefulness on them, but like, hey, if you're here for it, you're here for it. If you're not, you're not, but we'd like it if you're here for it. So there's things that you get if you come along with us on this journey. If you pledged us $5 or more a month, then you're going to get shouted out at the end of each episode of Impossible Coin. So there you go. You can make the end of this show overly long. If you pledged us at $10 a month or more, then you're going to get access to those additional episodes outside of our weekly episodes. You're going to get the anime episode. You're going to get the wrestling episode. You're going to get the monthly watch along. So like you're going to have like 3 extra episodes a month. Like that's a sick amount of content. You know, that's like an extra 6 hours of content for like $10. Like, look, you fucking losers all spend $15 a month on fucking Netflix. All you watch is shitty old episodes of The Office.
And Friends.
This is cheaper than that, and it's new content. Okay? Now, if you really want to go wild, and thus far, the names of these tiers, $5 or more a month, that's the orange food tier. Okay?
That's to get me to eat an orange every day. Or something.
Right.
That's the main
$10
goal.
a month more, that's the festival hard body tier. Now, our next tier is $55 a month, and it's called Bonjour. That's a callback. And that means that you're also single-handedly responsible for us reaching our first goal. And so that's mighty cool. And for that, you get an ad on the show. You get a 2-minute ad. You could either give us something which is pre-edited, which will get inserted in between the banter and news sections of the show, or you can give us a 2-minute script that the 3 of us do as an ad for your product or service. And we will reach out to you if you pledge at this level, just to ensure that you're not trying to get us to fucking read an ad for like Hitler dick bags or something. No Hitler dick bags. I mean, other than that, like, we're pretty open, but you get the idea. And finally, our top tier is called Your Cats Answer the Mail. And you're also pretty obviously somebody's mom if you're pledging at this level. So thank you, unknown mom.
If you're not somebody's mom, you can choose which one of us whose mom you want to be. You're our mom now.
Oh, God.
We will send you a card on Mother's Day.
I'll send a card on Mother's Day. That's fine.
I don't know if you actually want my address. Yeah, that's fair. I'll send a card on Mother's Day. If you're my dad, I'll send you a card on Father's Day, too. And I'll talk about how awesome you are.
Also, do not pledge to our Patreon to be Tegan's daddy.
Terrifying.
I will call you daddy in the card if you want. I'm willing to sell that.
We're really chilling today, man.
All right, yeah, we're really out there. Hell, if you want me to call you daddy in a card, I will.
Oh, God. Okay.
So if you pledge at this level, you wield significant power.
Significant power.
That means that you alone, at this level, you get to pick one of the watch-alongs for us a quarter. So whether or not we add another watch-along in order to satisfy that patron level, so there's like a fourth, there's like just a bonus watch-along once every 3 months, which is selected by this nightmare person, or just one of the watch-alongs each quarter is replaced by this person who wields untold power. We're not quite sure of that yet, but one of the watch-alongs each quarter, you just pick for us. So if you're like, okay, guys, just watch these driver safety videos.
We'll do it. We'll do it. And we'll give commentary. Enthusiastic commentary.
Oh, God. Driver safety videos. I'll roast these driver safety videos. I'm totally in.
Can we watch the Disney ones?
I'm down.
I only remember a Goofy one from, like, literally it had Goofy in it from Driver's Ed.
Also, when the show gets mail, as you know, gentle listeners, the mail is graded by Tegan's cats. The mail is graded by my cats. But your cats will be added to the roster. So what we'll do is we will reach out to you in advance of broadcast to get the names of your cats, and we will deliver the grades from your cats. So if we get a piece of mail and you're like, my cat would rate that like a looks at the litter box, then shits beside it defiantly, and then runs around at full speed just to prove that they're in good health. Then
that's a mood.
Yeah, isn't it though? Tegan knows.
I do.
And hypothetical pleasure at this tier knows. So basically your cats get to be in all the mail segments. You're picking one of the watch-alongs. And at every one of these levels, you're getting everything from the previous levels as well. So it's pretty exciting, which means that like you're getting access to the extra content. If you're pledging at that top level where your cats are answering the mail, you're also getting the 2-minute ad from the Bonjour level. Other stuff that we're going to like put up is just like, you wouldn't believe how often when this show gets edited that there are just these amazing pieces of content that end up getting like left on the cutting room floor because we're like, gosh, this episode seems to be running long. That thing was a lot of fun. We just don't have a place for it right now. Well, now we have a place for it, which is that like there will be segments of the show that where we ran a little long and we just wanted to get set up for runtime or we wanted to fit a certain thematic mood where we'll now have a place to put that content. One of the other things that we're going to share is each week there's a show doc that we work out of, and that show doc will get shared after the fact. For last week's episode, you could already, if you're a patron, view our show doc and get a little insight into like how the show is constructed. I already think that this week's show doc is vibrant and full of additional extra material.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, please consider funding this idiocy. Rocky, you want to take us home?
Yeah, sure. Hey, everyone. It may not look like it, but this week was another episode of Impossible Coin. If you like what you heard, or even if you didn't, go ahead and leave us a review wherever you found the podcast, whether that be on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or Spotify. And consider donating to our Patreon so that we can lend you more episodes and content in the future. There's music at the beginning and end of this podcast. It's produced by our friend Big Soch. You can find his work at soundcloud.com/Big Soch NJ, and you can follow him on Twitter on Hillary_Swank. The music in the middle of this podcast is produced by Kev NNA, whose music is available on Spotify under the name Kev NNA. And you can find him on Twitter at Lord Fatboy Fresco. Our t-shirt and logo were designed by Lauren Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Moran, and consider donating to her Patreon because she does the good shit. We are also on social media. Brian's usually on Facebook. I'm usually on Twitter. Tegan's usually on Tumblr. It's all Impossible Coin. No spaces or dashes or any funny business. And that's us. That's the show.
And I am always on Patreon. If you ever want to reach out to me there, I will answer your messages. And in the spirit of honoring our Patreon pledges, thank you to Soch.
Shoutouts.
For being our first patron.
Yay!
I think that's a show. Peace.
Bye!
Later.
It's official.